don't master your mind. You cannot master your mind. We have to learn to master being in the void. The void is where everything stems from. The void is all and everything. The void is presence. And in this state of presence, or otherwise known as enlightenment, in this space, we can move through reality in such a way that it doesn't matter what's going on in the external world. Chaos can be happening outside, but inside you have stillness. This is called equanimity, allowing life to be whatever it's going to be. The first step to doing this, to master your reality, is realizing that you need to master your ability to see your thoughts and emotions and not trying to change them. Okay. Why is that key? Because once you're able to let your emotions be there, let your thoughts be there, that's when you're able to let anybody react in a certain way, the outside world do whatever it's going to do. There could be another lockdown or whatever it is. You still have that presence and peace inside of you. Does body still react in fear sometimes? Absolutely. It's going to react in fear. It's going to be scared. But inside, you have this subtle stillness because you're aware of the emotions and the thoughts. And so there's nothing out there really happening. There's nothing out there that is actually affecting you. It's your response to it. And when we identify with how we are feeling and when we identify with how we're thinking, then we become it, right? We get attached to it. The root cause of all attachment is suffering, or suffering is the root cause of the root cause of suffering is attachment, right? So to transcend all of it is to come back to emptiness. And for some people, emptiness can be scary because there's no longer a me. There's no longer a you that is operating in this reality. You're back home, you're in a space where there is no necessarily a you that's going through something. It's just energy flowing through the body. It's just a thought passing in experience, in consciousness. And in that space, we can allow whatever to arise naturally and without changing it, without asking it to be any different. This is a constant practice where you get to unfold and realize that thoughts and emotions are not you. I mean, your whole life you've been taught that your emotions are important, your thoughts are important, and in a sense they are important and they have significance. I'm not saying to deny them or push them away or negate them or try to make them bad. What I'm saying is sometimes they're useful, but most of the time they are not. And we keep our memories, we keep our logic, we keep our tools, lessons, and wisdom. We keep all of these things to help support us in navigating this reality. But at the same time, we have to understand that certain thoughts, certain emotions are perpetuating the current reality that you're experiencing, and we are struggling to navigate to higher levels of consciousness, but also struggling to navigate mastering our reality in terms of creating the finances and the success and the progress in relationships that we're wanting and desiring. Relationships don't work nowadays because we live in our heads. Relationships have become about things that have nothing to do with relationships. It's become so complex and stupid, honestly. And the dating dynamics nowadays are horrific. And so this is because we all become individuals and we're individualized and we're trying to be separate. If you look at the body works together. All your cells and organs, they work together in harmony. However, we're out here trying to be out of harmony, trying to be an individual, and then trying to get together with someone, trying to hold on to our own, how can I say this in the right way, politically correct way, trying to hold on to what a relationship should be like in my eyes based on the movies and the cinema and the series and stuff like this. And it's all a pile of crap. Sorry, just my opinion is what it is. And we are living based on ego and thought, which is all lies. When you transcend thought and you transcend what you think you know about relationships, relationships become more simple. I don't think God or the universe, whatever name or label you want to put on it, wanted to make relationships a struggle or difficult or hard or difficult for uh, people to come together. I don't think that's how it is. I think we have learned to use our thinking in the wrong way, and it's just become a it's just become a big problem now. And so, when it comes to finances and progressing and overcoming resistance or imposter syndrome, putting yourself out there, being seen, um, going for that new job, that career that you want to go for, starting that new business, that project that you want to work on, the only thing that's going to get in the way is thought. And when you go into the void, when you go into emptiness, there is no thought. So there can't be any limitation at all because there's no thought. The only thing that can hold you back is thought. I know they have things like beliefs, right? You have these beliefs and yada yada, right? Beliefs are just a collection of thoughts, right? That have become more and more ingrained, but they're not real, right? They are lies. In fact, in the word belief, we have the word lie in the word belief. So we have to understand that they are lies. A thought is a lie. The void is the truth because that's when you was born, you was in the void. You was at the highest frequency possible. You was loved. Well, for a lot of, majority of babies, they are loved, right? And they're taken care of. And there's unconditional love coming from the parents and stuff like this. Okay. And again, it depends on the person. I know some people are born into narcissistic and challenging relationships and stuff like this. But for the most part, you can understand the gist of what I'm saying, that we're born with no thought and we're given everything that the parent can give. And so we have to understand that this state is powerful in terms of shifting your reality, in terms of mastering your reality. And so also understanding that in the space you have this sense of I can't be touched, and not saying in the physical sense. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is you're not even afraid of death. You're not even afraid of having a challenge in your relationship. You're not afraid of certain things anymore. And again, it's a practice, and it's a continual practice to get to higher states of consciousness and not allowing our thought to necessarily affect us. Now, in saying this, I just want to put a disclaimer here. You'll still feel stuff in the body, right? The body's still going to react. And over time, it will be less and less, but the body's still going to react. The mind is still going to react. But because you know the void so well, when you practice being in the void, it doesn't affect you as much. Okay? You now have higher quality problems. The problems that are big to you now become minimal and as easy to overcome as blinking. And now you're able to progress in life because this is how, a person can go from making 5 figures a year to making 6 figures a year or 7 figures a year or 8 figures a year. And I'm not saying that's your goal, but the more that they're able to overcome themselves, their own thinking, the more that they're able to progress in life. So this isn't about switching into a new identity. This is about letting go of your identity altogether and operating from a place of source, of the void, of presence, of oneness. So if you would like to practice that more, I have a link in the description. We dive deep and we're going to be mastering our reality in my community. Check out my link in the description and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.